angle. So these are the high level agenda items. Then obviously at the end, we are going to take the question answers, and we have the limited time for the question answer. So we request you to post your questions in the chat window, and the admin, the host, will take the selected question answers, okay, which are relevant to a majority of the people, and I will try to answer. And obviously you can also jump in those answers, okay. So before we start, I want to just cover some of the basic thing. Okay, some of the views. Generally, I get almost every week. I get one person who is having around 10 years or 10 years plus experience. They call me for the career-related discussion, and at least two who are having below 5 years or around 5 years, they contact me. And generally, people share the offer letters with me that, okay, very frequent. Recently, in last week, I got 2 offer letters. Okay, 2 offer letters. I'm interested. People share offer letters and to take the guidance. Okay, and recently I've created 2 CVs for my ex-managers as well. Whatever I'm sharing over here, those are not from any book. Even though I have read a couple of books on this topic, but whatever I'm sharing, it is not from the book. Okay, and it is majorly from my learnings. Okay, when people call me and when I have a discussion with them, so those are the learning which I am capturing over here. Okay. Then, as we know, this topic is sensitive and it is debatable. So I'm just putting my view. I'm not saying I'm an expert over here. Okay, so let's agree to disagree, and I'm happy to listen to your opinions as well, so that I can improve myself as well. Okay, and again, as I'm telling, these learnings are the facts, and the facts are generally bitter. So don't expect that, okay, I'm going to share something from standard books and all those things. I'm going to share certain bitter facts. I'm going to raise certain questions. Okay, and these questions will help us to get the right direction. Okay. Again, I'm speaking, it doesn't mean that I'm escaped from the mid-career crisis. Everybody will face, even though it is applicable for me as well. So let's pray for each other that, okay, we should not land into such situation. Again, if you have any question, please raise your hand. Okay, admin will unmute you, and we'll try to give the opportunity to speak, because in this topic, huge topic, nobody is expert. Okay. And finally, last, this is going to be an important discussion for our career. So I request you to go on do not disturb mode. I know it is Sunday morning, we have breakfast chaos and all those things. So, but still I request you to bring out half an hour or 45 minutes so that we listen this discussion very carefully. Okay. Now, let's see what are the contributing elements. What are the contributing elements for the mid-career crisis? Okay. So the first factor which comes over here is myself. That is we as the individual. So we are ourselves are the contributing factor for the mid-career crisis. Okay, then our society, our family. That is the second part or the second aspect for the mid-career crisis. Then third is market. Market plays an important role. And last but not the least, our company, our organization, they also play important role for the crisis. Okay. So these 4 parameters, I have captured these 4 parameters from my conversation, from my experience. Okay. I don't say these are the only 4 parameters. You might have your own parameters as well. Okay. Okay, responsible elements, and that is the first part, and where I'm telling our family, okay, and our surrounding or our society. Okay. So whenever we get a job, we feel ourselves very strong. I am the one of the most successful person on this earth. Okay, as if we have done a great job. Yes, getting a job is not a joke, but this is what our view. And looking at us, society, the people around us, they start thinking that, okay, this guy has become very really successful person, and very much soon he will be getting dollars, he will be getting pounds, he will be getting dinars and all those things. And ऐसा लगता है कि उसके ऊपर अभी बारिश होने वाली है. So that is the expectation from the society. That is the expectation from the society. When I was speaking one of my uncles and he asked me, Abdullah ji, what is your salary? तो मैं बोला कि मेरी सैलरी अराउंड 50,000 है. Sometime back, okay, then he told सिर्फ 50,000. My uncle told that मुझे तो लगता था कि सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर की सैलरी लाखों में होती है. Okay, that is the perception in the society. Okay, as soon as we get job, our family, our society start feeling that okay, yes, he's earning well, he's going to go अभी US जाएगा, अभी UK जाएगा, outside India and all those things, and he will be kind of very बस पैसों की बारिश होने लगी. Okay, so this is what the society feels, and they feel that study is over. They feel that study is over. This guy don't need to study further. That is the perception from the people, from the society. And if we say, okay, I need to do certification, I need to attend certain trainings and all those things, a question is raised on the capabilities. A question is raised on the capabilities. When around 10 years back, I was doing PMP, my parents started asking, बेटा अभी इतना पढ़ लिया और पढ़ाई करने की जरूरत है क्या? Because PMP was one of the toughest exam for me. They told इतनी पढ़ाई करना पड़ता है. And even people in IT, they start thinking, Abdul bhai, ये कौन सा certification? Why are you doing all this certification? Because you have been to UK and immediately after coming from UK, you started doing certification. What is that one? Okay, so at one point of time, I started feeling that I should not be doing that certification because over the weekend I have to go to office to study. I have to go to office to the study. I have to get separated myself. Okay, so that is the society which think that as soon as we get a job, we don't need to do any certification, we don't need to do any learning, and if at all you do such things, then a question is going to raise on your capabilities. Our society, our family thinks whatever the money and time we are spending on those certification and those learnings, so that is a wastage. That is a wastage. Okay, this is what perception in the society, in our families. Okay, and we know what are the facts. Second reason, ourself. See, we put a lot of hard work. Whenever we are working in the organizations, we put a lot of hard work. We forget about health. We forget about our family. Okay. And our capabilities of learning, our capabilities of readability and learning ability, so we kill these abilities. Okay, when we are doing the hard work for the organizations, we just stuck in one role. Okay, and we start doing the monotonous work after a couple of years or after some months, and ultimately we love that work too much that we get into the comfort zone. And in our organizations, we are so called as devoted employees. Okay, we are called as the dedicated employees, and our manager and everyone respect us a lot. The reason being is we are 24/7 available. We are doing huge hard work, right? We sacrifice each and everything to get into the comfort zone. Okay, we enter into the comfort zone. Ultimately, we are doing all these things for what? Salary? Promotion? I have a question. Are these the only two things for which we should be working for?
No.
Mostly people do for recognition, in my view. So
yeah, recognition.
Yes.
And like self-satisfaction as well, if we are
Yes.
satisfied with ourselves.
Yes, true. What I feel is if we are doing for these two things, then I don't think that is the right approach. if these are the only two things I'm going to say, yes, we need to do all these work for salary and promotion, but these are the only two things which we are doing, then I believe our way of approach towards our career is not is not right. I always feel that we are putting our best investment, and our best present is our best investment. And if we are just getting the salary and promotion, that is not enough. Because when we enter into the comfort zone, our alignment to the market is missed. Okay, we don't think that, okay, are we aligned? Is our job aligned? Is our role aligned to the market? We start working on the same technology for years together, and we lose our technology skills. And we forget to learn, to unlearn, and learn new skills. Because we are so much behind just the salary and promotion that, okay, all these things which I'm telling, so we forget these things. We forget the adaptability to the market. Okay, we don't think what are the upcoming technologies, and we lose exposure to those upcoming technologies, and we feel that, or we land in a situation that new roles and responsibilities, we are not that much bothered. We are just doing the BAU to satisfy our management, to just get the promotion and to just get the salary. I always think for myself, okay, our skills are like shares. We invest, we always think whether our skills are future proof or not. Okay, when we are putting our investment in the shares, do we see that, okay, it is a good company and I have invested, that is enough or not? But we see that, okay, is it giving us the appropriate dividend or not? We always see if this company will go down, who is going to purchase? So in the similar way, we need to think about our skills as well. We need to ask ourselves, who is going to purchase my skills? Okay, and one of the most important thing is our investment making ourselves future ready? So these are the things which we always forget when we are working for the organizations. I don't say we should not be putting hard work. I don't say we should be putting our all dedication to make our organization successful. But at the same time, we should not think that, okay, that is the only thing. We should not lose our learnability skills. We should not lose our technological skills. Okay, this is what my view. Okay, now again, this slide is again for ourselves. Okay, today I'm not wearing my specs. Can somebody read these sentences which are coming?
There are two types of pain that hurts and you,
Yes,
and the pain that changes you.
changes you. Yes, so I've seen that there are two types of pains. Okay, the pain that hurts us and the pain that changes us. Let's see what are those two things. Okay, when you speak the change which is difficult for us, okay, and that is the learning part. That is the learning part. If we don't study much during our job, I'm not telling before our job, I'm telling during our job, okay, then we are in a problem. Okay, so that is a pain. Generally people come to me and they say that मैं सब कुछ कर सकता हूं लेकिन डैश नहीं कर सकता. Any fill in the blanks? कोई fill कर सकता है? This fill in the blanks. Obviously there is no chocolate for the right answer. There is no punishment for the wrong answer.
Certification, hard work.
Yes, true. It is very much close to what you told, Kamar bhai. Okay, study. People come to me and they say that मैं सब कुछ कर सकता हूं लेकिन मैं study नहीं कर सकता. Let me say, or let me share my view. If we don't do these things proactively, then ultimately we are going to land in the career crisis, irrespective of mid-career or irrespective of our experience. Okay, we are going to land into the crisis. And we know for these things, if our career is going to be at risk, it is always better to tackle it in advance, to tackle it proactively rather than reactively. Okay, because I felt that certification learning, that is the most difficult aspect for the people. And ultimately we start crying after a certain time. Okay. So now let's see the third aspect, that is company and the manager. Okay. Whenever people come to me, I ask them, okay, why are you in this situation? I get one answer most of the time. I will say 99% of the time, it is because of the manager or it is because of the management. What my view is, the management is working for the company, for the organizations, and organizations are working for shareholders. Okay, I generally ask them, for those professionals, have you discussed that, okay, I don't need salary hike, I don't need promotion, but I need to change my technology? Because our professionals are doing a lot of discussions. Our professionals are doing a lot of discussions with the manager, and literally I've seen that, okay, the bitter discussions are happening in the appraisals. Okay, but we are not asking them to change our roles. Okay, we are discussing a lot of things, but asking them not to improve or not to increase my salary or don't give the promotion, and instead of that, give me the technology. I know people or the managers will be very much happy. Managers will be very much happy. Okay, because when we say that you don't give me the salary hike, you don't give me the promotion, just you change my technology. Okay, we are doing all this hard work. Okay, and since we are not asking these things, we land in the crisis. We land in the crisis. I always ask, okay, what I'm going to say to my family? What I'm going to say to my family? I'm in the bad situation. It is because of the company or my manager. Because generally people, they are so much kind of bound to their roles that, okay, they will say that, okay, we will do each and every hard work, but I'm not, but I will not speak with my manager about my changing my technology. Okay, and ultimately we land in the bad situation. Okay, so this is what I have observed. Okay, I generally say, not my company, not my company, not my manager, but I own my career. I own my career. Generally, this comes to my mind. Can somebody read this sentence? Again, I'm not wearing my specs today.
Have we outsourced our career to our managers or companies?
This sentence always comes to my mind. Okay, and again, when I say that companies are working for the stakeholders, I have so many examples. In my one of the project, one of my best performers of my team, one of my best performer of the team, he told there is a vacancy, or there is within our project, there is a demand, okay, for on-site. Okay, and it is in our project only. I want to apply for that one. You believe me or not, when I had a discussion with my management told that, okay, this is a key resource. This is a key resource. If he goes on site, who is going to look at offshore? And I have so many other examples in my one of the discussions. One person joined a Cognizant, okay, or one of the good companies, and he joined from the campus, and he stayed there for around 10 years, 10 to 11 years, almost with the same account, almost with the same account. He was the best performer. He was the best performer, but the organization didn't give him the on-site position. The reason being, he's the key resource. Sometimes becoming a key resource is a problem for us. Even in my case, okay, I was in one of the previous organizations. I was on bench for I think 6 to 7 months. Okay, I generally say that in that organization, I was the only person who was on bench for such a long time. Okay, in each and every report, my name is always on the top. But in my organization, they started a new department, and they say, and they find that, okay, whom we can send, and they found that, okay, this guy is sitting on the top. Okay, let's put him in this new department, and that was the day ops at that point of time in 2008. So what I mean to say, obviously, we need to be good performer, but we need to again judge. If we are losing our opportunities, that means we ourselves are becoming the bottleneck. We ourselves are becoming the bottleneck. So that's the reason I always say, if we are becoming the bottleneck, if the organization is not allowing certain is not allowing us for the growth, for change, to change the technology or to go on site or something like that one, then we need to do certain retrospection. We don't need to blame our organizations, our companies, our managers. Because till what point of time we are going to say that, okay, I am in this bad situation and it is because of my ex-manager. There's the reason I always say, have we outsourced our career to our managers or our companies? And again, as our experience grows, I feel that we should be adding certain skills which are not conflicting to our day-to-day work. We should be adding certain skills, certain whatever we like. Okay, we should be start working in that field, because as soon as our career or our experience is becoming around 10 years, we should be having our backup plan kind of started working on our backup plan. Because if we don't start working on our backup plans, then I think we will land in a bad situation, and we will be in the bad situation. And again, our families, our spouses, they don't know that in which field we are. We are in a sea. We are in a sea where constantly learning, constantly swimming is required. Okay, and if we don't do these things, then we'll just get flow away. Okay, we'll be nowhere, I will say. Because our families, our spouses doesn't understand, okay, in the private industry, certain hard decision needs to be taken. They see that, okay, if we are with one organization, that's enough. That's enough. Let's start enjoying. And this job is going to be there forever. Now, recently it is changing. That's great. That's great. But still, our families, when we are coming up from our native place, they don't feel these things. Okay. And I feel that at a certain point of time, we should be thinking what should be our backup plans. What should be our backup plans? Then the last element, which is market. See, market is changing. Okay, so mid-career crisis always directly proportional to the market, and market is directly proportional to the change. And what I feel is, if the candidate or if ourselves are aligned to the change, are aligned to the market, then mid-career crisis will not touch us. If we are aligned to the market and to the change, then mid-career crisis will not touch us. Okay, or it will not impact us. Have you heard this this company? Anyone? Obviously, there is silence. That means nobody has heard. Actually, I mean to say,
Nokia.
yes, yes. See, the companies should change, I believe, as per the market. And if the companies are not changing, that is a threat for us. we need to be evaluating our companies whether it is changing as per the market or not. Because whenever I'm having the discussion with the senior managers, I'm always emphasizing, are we bringing the recent technology or the new ways of working which is there in the market in our organization? Otherwise, since the company didn't change it, so what happened to it? सब लोगों ने इसको नो किया, right? Actually, I love this company a lot. Okay, here we are just taking the name of the company for our learning purpose. Even though if today somebody gives me option with some company, mobile company, then I will choose Nokia. I love so much. So if the companies are not changing, if they are not aligned to the market, it is going to impact us, and we need to decide. We need to decide what we should take the decision, because generally you have seen the top management or the top consultant or the top IT people always say, love your skill set, upgrade your skill set, don't love your company, and try to give the best from your skill to our organization, because we have to be honest. So the market is also responsible, or the change is also responsible for our mid-career crisis. And again, if you have any doubt and if you want to say anything, please raise your hand. The admin will allow you to speak, or you can also jump in to this discussion. Okay. So moving further, what should be our approach? How we should identify the next role? Because whenever I'm having the discussion with the professionals and the people who are coming to me, they're always confused. Okay, how I should identify my next role? How I should identify which technology I should be jumping? Sometimes we are clueless, right? So let's see. What I feel is, as soon as majority of us are working in the service-based organization, so I have taken over here, especially about the service-based organization. If you are in product-based, that is a different case. Here, I have taken the case study or a general scenario from the service-based organization. Okay, so if we are in a service-based organization and when we join a new project, what I feel is initially 3 months are the investment. We should learn about our project, our domain, and each and everything very dedicatedly. And the next 3 months, we should be accelerating. Okay, we should be accelerating in our work and our technology and all those things. And next 3 months, we should become a role model. We should become a role model. Okay, and next 3 months, we should be starting innovating our work, our day-to-day work. We should start innovating our day-to-day work. Okay, and when we spend around 6 months or 9 months, we should be start saving our 25% of our overall work. That means if a certain task, if we are doing in 4 hours, that we should be start doing in 3 hours. Okay, and we should start conversation with our manager. We should start shadowing the roles which are there in our organization or in our team as well. Okay, and we should start thinking about the certification. Generally, people say that certifications are not important, but I say that it plays a lot of important role. Okay, in our overall career, So as soon as we spend 6 months or 9 months, we should be able to say at least 25% of our time. And I generally say, don't communicate this to your manager at this moment. Okay, don't communicate, okay, you are able to save this much amount of time. Don't communicate that one. Okay, but start helping the other team members in our team and use that time for the certification and the other things. Okay, so this we should be doing after 6 months or 9 months. 9 months is the maximum. Okay, now let's see how we can identify the next role. Suppose I am working in a team, then I need to see which are the teams with whom I'm working with, which are the team with which I'm working with. Okay, if there are 3 teams, let's say and I like this team. I like this team very, very well. Okay, yes, whatever they are doing, they are aligned. Just take the example that, okay, I'm in testing, and there are certain teams who are working, or there are certain team members who are working around me, they are in day offs. And I like that category of work. I like that category of work. I like them, their work, and all those things, being a tester. Then I should start thinking whether I should be making my career in that one or not. We need to do certain analysis whether this technology is aligned to the market or not. Just take the example that, okay, I'm I'm an automation tester, but I'm liking the manual tester work. It should not happen because it is not aligned to the market, right? So we should identify whatever my team, the teams who are there around me, what are they are working on, and if I like their work, then it should align to the market. We should speak with our mentor. We should speak with our mentor. Is this work which I'm liking, which I'm thinking to make my next career or next move, is it aligned to the market, or what he's saying the mentor should be telling, because the mentor tells us a lot of good things, okay, whether it is going to be aligned to the market, or whether it is going to be suitable for us or not. Okay, then we need to see outside as well, whatever the role I am doing, are those roles available outside or not, and are they paying good or not for those roles. And the next thing we should be start thinking about the certifications as well, because when I want to enter from the manual testing to day ops, I need to think what are the certifications required. Okay, what are those prerequisites? And when we are doing these certifications, I always say, don't speak with your manager. Don't speak with your manager. Okay, because just take my example. In 2011 or 12, when I came from UK, I told my manager that, okay, I want to do PMP certification. I want to do PMP certification. My manager told, Abdul, you don't worry. I'm going to take care of your career. I'm going to take care of your career. You don't need to do all these certifications, because in our organization, those are not that much valued. Okay, and you just concentrate on your work. Okay, and I will give you the promotion. I told, yes, whatever I am doing is for my promotion, for my salary. That is again a wrong perception for me at that point of time. Okay, and I started working very holistically, and I got a number of reasons in the appraisals. No, this happened, that happened, and ultimately after the appraisal, the manager itself left the organization. The manager himself left the organization. So whatever the discussion I had with him, that ultimately lost, and I was again back to zero. So that's the reason I always say, at this point of time, if you want to grow in your career, okay, there are certain things which we should not be clearly opening up with our seniors, with our managers. We should have our mentors. We should see whether those skills are aligned outside or not, and we should start doing the certification. But we should be taking permission from whom? Can somebody say? Can somebody tell from whom we should be taking the permission?
Our family.
Great answer, right answer. Definitely, आपके लिए एक चाय next time we'll meet.
Inshallah. Hasiba, this is Khalid, by the way.
Okay, Khalid, ji, great.
Jazakallah khair. A great lecture so far.
So whenever we are changing the company, when we are doing the certification, we should speak with our spouses, because we are taking our family time, and we need to spend that one. We need to spend the money, time, and energy in each and everything. So that's the reason. Whenever I'm doing the certification, when I went for my CS, for my Scrum Master certification as well, I told my manager I have some emergency. I'm taking some couple of days off, and I did, and I took that off. I did my certification and came back, and just put in my signature. He got astonished. I told, yes, it happened. It happened. I appeared. I cleared. I don't know. It was easy. Because if we say that our management, I'm going to do these certifications and you need to approve, Nobody is going to approve for those certifications, and they will say that, okay, you are hired for our work. Okay, if it is getting impacted, then they will immediately point out you are doing the certification, so that's the reason you are not doing the you are not paying the full attention. Okay, so I always say, please speak with your spouse and try to communicate. This is very much required. This is very much required, so that my job is there for future. My job is there for future. Otherwise, we all are going to land in the problem. That we need to communicate the urgency, the importance, the why part. When I started doing the PMP certification, I did the same thing. Okay, and whenever I try to change my role, I always take my family, my wife in the confidence. This is what we need to do, because career doesn't belong to one person. Career doesn't belong to one person, but we are the representative for the career for the complete family. We are the representative. We need to take certain hard actions. I know it is very difficult to do certifications and all those things, but we need to do those things. Okay, then obviously our friends as well, because our friends are going to tell what is suitable for me, because sometimes we feel that this is my strong point, this is my strong area. Okay, but when we speak with the family and the friends, they will say that no, that is not your strong area. Okay, just take the example, my example. Okay, when I say that I'm a good manager, okay, I have good public relationship, but I know if I become a manager, I won't be able to succeed. Having just the good relationship, having just a good social network is not going to help us. It doesn't mean that, okay, we should be taking the manager role, because manager roles are very much risky today. Okay, we'll see those things are coming. Okay, we'll see further. Okay, now we should be always doing these retrospection. We should always be doing these retrospection for every 9 months. Okay, or we can, or I will say not every 9 months, regularly we should be having these discussions. Okay, what is the next role I should be taking? What is the what is the thing which is aligned to my technology? I always say that, okay, if I'm a tester, if I'm doing the automation testing, then I recommend not to jump to artificial intelligence, to machine learning, to other things. Okay, not to jump directly from one field to another field directly. If we are in testing, then I will ask them to go to the product manager, or not product manager, to the product owner, to the scrum master, to the DevOps. Okay, we should be taking such roles. Okay, here I want to mention one very important thing. Can somebody tell where I have did certain mark over here on my screen? Where I have done?
Certification and new role.
Yeah.
Company.
Yep. So one of the important additional person which plays an important role is the mentor. You believe me or not, still and regularly, I spend around 15,000 monthly, around 15,000 on monthly basis to speak to my to my mentors. Okay, I always ask the people, do you have a mentor? Mentorship and coaching is very much important. We don't have this culture. We don't have this culture. Whenever I'm speaking with the senior people, they call me and they say that, Abdul Bhai, I want to speak about my career, but we will not speak in our area. We'll go somewhere in another hotel or somewhere and we'll sit together. Because if people see that, okay, I'm sitting with you, people will say that, okay, kuch to problem aa raha hai career mein, and that's the reason the career discussion is going on. So that is the wrong culture we have. That is the wrong culture we have. We should have a mentor. We should have that mentoring culture, coaching culture for ourselves. Okay, and we should be spending certain amount for that one. Because what we feel is spending on mentorship, getting some mentorship from someone is bad. and the money and the time and the energy which we put, it is a wastage. That is completely a wrong assumption. Without a consistent mentor, it is difficult to get success. We should be having the connect with the mentor every 3 months. This is what I am doing. This is what I want to do. This is how I want to do. Is it aligned or not? Because this culture, we speak with a mentor only if we have a couple of offers, we want to change the organization, that is well, or if we have problem in our day-to-day job. But that should not be the case. But that should not be the case. Okay, mentorship and coaching is very much important. This culture of certification is also missing. I think we need to bring this culture. Okay. So moving further, certain approaches and certain solutions. Whenever we are doing, or whenever we feel that we need to achieve certain goal, we need to identify what exactly our goal, where we want to make our career. Okay, then we need to see, where do I stand right now? Where do I stand right now? We need to see that one. Okay, then we need to do what immediate learning I need to have, what immediate certification, what immediate books we should be reading. Okay, generally we say that, again, spending on the books, that is again a very critical part. What I will say that, okay, at least quarterly we should be spending for certain books. Okay, and we should be reading the whole book. Because just take the example, people are coming to me and they're telling, I have done couple of, or I have read couple of, or I have gone through couple of videos, okay, about day offs, and now I'm becoming very much confident and I want to enter into the day offs or any other field. I say that, okay, which books you have read? They're clueless. Except articles, except couple of videos, they don't have anything. Because when we start reading the books, that will give the holistic picture in front of us. That will give the holistic picture in front of us. Okay, so that's the reason I always say reading books. Okay, and then accordingly we should be having our next target condition. And once we set our target condition, we should be concentrating on that one, and we should be taking all the actions required for that one. And again, we need to validate, have I learned anything or not? If I have not learned anything, then again I need to have my new direction. Okay, so that's the reason I always say, take step-by-step actions. Take step-by-step actions towards the improvement. Okay, and whatever I'm sharing over here, this is called as the improvement kata, and that is coming from Toyota. Okay, I have modified a little bit to the career part, but this is the high level. It is the improvement kata. Okay, then once we validated, we need to identify what is the next certification we need to do, and what is our next target. Generally, just take the example that, okay, if my experience is somewhere around 8 years and I'm good in one cloud computing, just take the example, I'm good in AWS. Okay, when my experience is around 8 years, but when my experience is becoming 15 years, I should not be just aligned to AWS or one certification. I should be having the multiple skills. After 8 years, when I'm good in AWS, either I should be going a little bit more in AWS security and all those things, or I should be having the GCP or Azure certification or Azure skills when my experience will increase by 3 years. Again, after 3 years, if my experience is increasing, I should be having the next cloud computing skills in my head. And when I'm becoming 15 years, I should be knowing each and every cloud computing, whether it is GCP, whether it is AWS, whether it is Azure, whatever. But if I'm not improving myself, if I don't improve myself, if I just stuck that, okay, I'm AWS has a huge demand for next couple of years, yes, I don't need, my career is very safe. No. Even though we are in the cloud computing, we are in AWS, but if our experience is increasing, and if we are just about to one technology, then again we will land in the problem, because we need to identify, as our experience is increasing, our horizon of learning, of horizon of our skill should always be increasing. We just don't need to abide just one skill throughout the life, because we are in a sea, and in a sea, if we want to survive, then adding new skills is the only way. And these things we should be doing every or regularly 9 to 12 months, but not beyond 12 months. From my experience, okay, let's see what should be the approach we should be having. Okay, what I feel is always daily one article related to our technology, or wherever you want to change in the new role or the new technology, whatever it is. So at least one article we should be reading, and that too very calmly and peacefully. Okay, because career is I feel very much important. Just take the example, if we go in a market and there are two choices to purchase a t-shirt, one is for 200 rupees and another is for 1000 rupees. What comes to our mind? Which t-shirt we are going to purchase? We might purchase for 200 as well, or we might purchase for 1000 as well. But the mindset, when we purchase a t-shirt of 1000 rupees, we will say that it is going to for long term. Okay, and if that t-shirt becomes, it creates problem in 2 months, then we will say, yeah, 1000 rupees mein kharida tha, quality kharab nikli. And this is what about career as well. Okay, so what I believe is daily learning is required, because that will keep our focus where we want to go. Then again, weekly 5 to 10 hours. Okay, study to become strong in the existing or new skills. Because if I'm in security, then I should be having a deep dive in the security. If I've done the networking, then I should be just thinking that, okay, networking due to cloud computing and all those things, the networking jobs are becoming less. What is going to be the next target? And I should be spending time on that one. Again, quarterly, I believe we should be taking leaves from our organization, leaves for our learning. We should be attending the free startups, free meetups. Because I have not seen anyone, or I've seen very rarely people are taking leaves for their learning purpose. We don't have the culture to take leaves to learn the new things. Okay, and you believe me or not, at least I take at least a couple of days leaves every 2 months, just extended to weekend. And those 3 to 4 days or 5 days, we should be just concentrating on our learning. That is very much required. We should be creating our network, and the network is not just in sitting in the canteens. That is not create a network. Okay, we should be adding every quarterly one new skills as well. New skill, it doesn't mean that, okay, it should be completely brand new. Okay, whatever we are working, the next skill we should be adding. Okay, related skills. And every 6 months, I request you to write one LinkedIn article, whatever you learn. Because the organizations are looking at our LinkedIn profiles. Spend having the purchasing the accounts and all those things on LinkedIn. Because that is the way to grow our network. Writing articles will make us a little bit more strong, because when we are putting our thought process in terms of the in terms of an article in front of the world, that will create a different confidence. And you believe me or not, whenever I have gone for the interviews, people have taken my LinkedIn articles, and we have discussed on those articles. Okay, and very much important, we should be keeping certain money for the certification and the trainings. This culture again we are missing. This culture we are again missing. Okay. Yes, roles at risk, because we are now proceeding a little bit further. Okay, what are the roles which are at risk and what we should be doing? Okay. Again, these testers, I have respect them. I have respect for them. Okay, manual testing jobs. Then Scrum Masters. Again, plain vanilla project managers. Plain vanilla project managers. We need to have the techno managerial skills. Just doing the BAU work will not suffice. I was working with one of the India's very leading organization. Okay, over there was a lady, and he was at the manager level, and she was at the manager level, and that department kept that lady just for the operational work. Okay, and that lady used to do it very, very sincerely. At any point of time, she's always available for doing the resource allocation, for doing the appraisals, and all those things. She's always available. Okay, and I was in the pre-sales and all those things. I was in consulting for DevOps. My head used to say that, okay, usko wahi karne do, usko wahi karne do. And when we had a discussion that, okay, now what about her appraisals and all those things, that manager told, she is just doing the manual work. She's not adding any value, and whatever she is doing, another person can also do that work. Okay, and you believe it or not, in spite of all that hard work, because she was not technical, but she was a manager, she has to do all those things, and she was not getting appropriate results. Okay, I have those examples. Then again, support, the people who are working in the project support and all those things. Okay, and again, the people and the brothers who are there, who are just doing the networking and other kind of legacy work. Okay, we need to align our skills to the market. And I generally thank to the technology. I generally thank to the technology, because technology has expanded the roles. It has expanded the job horizon. Okay, so the automation, the cloud and all those things, they have not removed the roles. They have not removed the roles, but they have added the new roles in the market. Obviously, we need to align. Obviously, we need to align. Generally, people come to me and they are performing the role of manual testers, Scrum Master, and all those things. They generally say that, okay, I'm doing the testing. Where should I search? And they, from the manual testing, they try to jump to big data, Hadoop, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and all those things. But I request them not to go for completely changing your career. Okay, identify with which teams you are working. And for generally, if we are in testing or we are in the Scrum as a Scrum Master, I ask them to go to DevOps. It is not the case that, okay, my core skills are from DevOps, but generally we need to identify the related skills. Okay, and these people, if you see my screen, Scrum Master, Project Manager, and the people who are working in support, they have very good domain knowledge. They have very good domain knowledge. They have good customer knowledge. Okay, they need to encash. We need to align. We need to see which are those roles which are coming to the market. Okay, which are aligned to my skill set. And this is what the role of a mentor comes into picture. Okay, mentor doesn't mean that, okay, just he's your senior, because mentorship coaching is completely different from a senior person. Okay, senior person might be just thinking about his role. This mentor should have the horizon of technology, horizon of the different roles which are there in the market, which are there in the organization. So these roles are becoming absolute in the market. Sorry to say this one. Okay, but plain project managers and all those things, but they have really great potential of domain knowledge. They should be acquiring those domain knowledge. They should be understanding those customers, and they should try to become the product owner. They should be thinking about the UX, CX. And I've just taken this example, okay, because again, in which role you are, what is your background, what role you should be doing, that will again differ. For the sake of discussion, I've just told over here these roles. It doesn't mean that we should be abiding to these roles only. A lot of things come into picture. Okay, a lot of things come into picture. Are you able to see my screen?
No.
Uh,
No?
No,
Okay.
it's blank.
it's blank
Yeah,
actually.
it's blank. Okay.
So I have a couple of questions here, real quick questions.
Yeah.
How to get a good mentor means it is something very struggling me. And there
Yes, that's
in organization,
hopefully.
out of organization, is it paid service? Because I used to get some good mentors earlier, but
Okay.
it's hard to find now mentors. And
True.
because of the time
True.
crunch, even in
Yes.
my circles, people are not paying attention and then sometimes they are laughing. So it is
Yes.
very, very
True.
difficult to get a mentor.
Very much true. Very much true. I know that is a really difficult task, and how part it is really difficult. Okay, because as I've told that, okay, if I am an engineer, I'm a cloud engineer, and if I want to have a mentor, then it is difficult for me to get a mentor. So that's the reason I'm just telling the what should be the qualities of the mentor. What should be the qualities of the mentor? That mentor should have the wide range of technology plus the different roles, how which roles are becoming absolute, which roles are becoming new in the market. So he should be having that one. Okay, so I'm just telling that, okay, what qualities the mentor should have. Our project manager, our CNA is not definitely our mentor, because when we are speaking about the mentorship, we are thinking about the long-term career, not about the short-term career. Our senior, our manager might be able to tell, yes, what is going to be my next role, but next role might not be aligned to my personality, to my long-term goal. Okay, so that is difficult. So these are the kind of clues how we should identify the mentor. Okay. Now proceeding further. Again, for these roles, I will suggest some of these safe certification. Generally, people are around having 15 years or 20 years of experience, and they are coming to me and they are telling me, we want to do certain Scrum Master certification. Scrum Master certification. See, for a 15 years person, he don't need to do just the Scrum Master certification. He need to have certain additional skills, some certain different certifications. Okay, like Safe Agilist is there, Safe Product Owner is there, Safe DevOps is there. There's so many other certifications are there. For which certification needs to be done, when and why, that all depends upon our past experience, what presently which we are doing, where we want to make our career, what technology support or what technology background we have. A lot of factors are there. Generally, people ask me, just I get, Abdulaziz, which certification I should do. That becomes difficult, because answering question in a single line is very much easy, but there is a lot of background is there. Whenever I'm having such kind of discussion, it takes around, for me, around 30 minutes. Around 30 minutes. If he is a directionless, then it takes around 45 minutes. And it's just not one discussion. We need to have the multiple discussions. Okay. So choosing the right certification is very much important. Generally, people who are there in networking and all those things, CCN and all those things, so I request them to jump into the security. And again, thanks to the online courses and all those things, we have a Brad, we have so many things which are coming. And you believe me or not, we should be doing the courses from the reputed institutes. We should be doing the courses from the reputed institute. Just doing the courses from the normal institute is not at all suggested. Okay, if my experience is around 15 to 20 years, definitely I should be going with the branded institute like Harvard, Brad, and the other things. Okay, depending upon our experience, we should be thinking, we should be deciding from which institute we should be doing. Okay, and as our experience is increasing, we should have the international brand attached to us. That is very much important. I generally say, we always should have. Can somebody raise this sentence? Should have.
We should have wings of technology.
Yes. So I always say that Whenever our experience is around 8 years, I always ask them not to jump into the management role. Okay, because that is a carrot. Okay. If our experience is around 8 years or around 10 years, no doubt, we should be having certain managerial skills, but we should not be jumping in the management in the management field. Okay. What do I mean to say that? In our Indian culture, it is always told that now you have become the senior team member, you become a team lead. And that team lead means just cutting the wings of the technology and getting involved in the manual work, Excel, PPT, and all those things. We should be strong enough. We should be strong enough telling to our manager that, okay, I want to work on the technology. You give me extra work on the technology, I'm ready to do that one. But rarely we say these things to our manager. Our manager is saying, I have to become a lead, then we become very much happy. Like I say, we become fat. Yes, as soon as we start performing well, and our managers tell that now you have to lead the team. That means our wings of technology are being cut. Obviously, we need to take the manager role. I don't say no, but the management role, there should not be any separate management role. Even though I'm an architect, I should be having the management skills. Okay, what I generally say to the technology people, if we are having around 10 years of experience, then we should be able to manage a team of 10, and we should be able to spend around 25% of time in the team management. Okay, and when our experience is becoming 15 years, we should be able to spend 50% on technology and 50% on the management part. And when our experience is becoming 18 or 20 years, then at least 25% of technology work or coding we should be doing. We don't need Dibbewala architect. We need coding wall architect if we want to survive. Because there are so many good Dibbewala architects, it is going to create a problem for us if we are becoming a Dibbewala architect. So moving further, again, people are changing the roles drastically. They're saying that, okay, big data Hadoop is becoming very attractive. They're getting good jobs and all those things. You believe me or not, people from mechanical industry and other industry, they are jumping to these things. I generally don't suggest them. Changing stream drastically, the stream is not at all suggestible. It is going to be difficult. Okay, if you want to see what are the emerging careers, please refer my LinkedIn article. I have written articles what are the emerging technologies. I have also written article related to job recession, a myth, because from my understanding, whenever we are telling that, okay, we are in recession, that is a myth. And again, I have written right time to change a job. Right time to change a job. I think my screen lost. Let me reshare it again. Hopefully you are able to listen me. I'm on the Zoom.
Yes, and we can see your screen as well.
Yes. Yeah. So you believe me or not, the article which I have written, right time to change a job, in my last interview, in my manager round, the discussion happened on this one. Okay. That is really, if you read the article, that is a really tough article. Okay, but you have full liberty to put your views. Okay. So refer to my LinkedIn article over there, and over there I have written what is the relation between the agile, DevOps, and the testing as well. Okay, and Karma Foundation is we might have a lecture as well for that one as well. So you can join next time as well. Okay. Okay, moving further. Career triangle to career rectangle. We always feel that as our experience is growing, our resources, our opportunities are reducing. But if we are aligned to our market, if we are aligned to the business demand, if we are increasing the domain knowledge, if we are aligned to the company directions and all those things, then definitely from triangle, our career will become a rectangle. Okay, and when we want to grow, there are huge opportunities. So generally, I say that for the senior people, we need to convert our career triangle to career rectangle. And once we convert, and once we consider the parameters like business demands, domain knowledge, what is the company direction, how the technology is moving. So if we grow in this along with these lines, definitely we can grow a lot. But again, we need to decide, do we need to become a senior or CXOs in a company, or we want to become an individual consultant? That is very much important, because when we want to become the senior in the company, there is so many things, logistics and all those things, you know that, okay, growing in within the same organization, how difficult it is. If we are able to grow, then it is nothing like that one. Okay, now a couple of common questions. Okay, yesterday I asked Kamal bhai, what are the previous people who asked that, okay, or who are in the lecture, what are the generally common questions? And the common questions are, at what experience mid-career crisis start? At what experience mid-career crisis starts? I would like to reframe this question. Okay, the mid-career crisis doesn't start at a certain age or certain experience. What do I mean to say? I would like to reframe this question again. I would like to remove the mid, and I want to just say that at what experience career crisis starts. At what experience the career crisis starts, because crisis does not only start when our experience is 10 years or 15 years or 20 years. It doesn't start at that point of time only. It starts when we see that our roles and responsibilities are not changing for 2 years or 3 years. 3 years is too much long. 3 years is too much long. If our roles and responsibilities are not changing for 2 years, if I'm doing the same coding, same technology for 2 years, if I'm on SharePoint just for March 2007, just 2007, I'm become the super duper experience. And if I'm not moving from March 2007 to March 2013, and from March 2013 to SharePoint 2015, then that means I got stuck. I'm doing the same work. Okay, same technology, same work. Even though I'm in AWS, if I'm doing the AWS administration, I should be thinking that, okay, now what is the next security, network security, AWS security, and all those things. We should be thinking about those things. Okay, we should have, or does it mean we need to change the company? Generally, people ask me, okay, if I stuck, does it mean I need to change my company? I generally say what? No. Generally, no. Okay, because if you are stuck in one role, it doesn't mean that, okay, you need to change your company. You have invested a huge amount of time, energy, money you have given to the organization. You should not be leaving that one. Now think that, okay, what you can get from the organization. Have a conversation with your manager. Have a conversation with your manager and ask him changing the department, so that you can have the new domain knowledge. Okay, so that you should having the new learnings. Okay, new technology, new roles. If you are working as the incident manager, check that, okay, can you work as the problem manager? Can you become a project manager? Majority of our people, sometimes they are working as the for the project executives or something like that, who are just assisting. Okay, they're just managing the resources and all those things. They should start speaking about the with the manager. Now I'm in the non-technical role. Can I move to the Scrum Master role? Can I do certain certifications? We should be asking with our managers. Okay, we should be checking with our managers. And if he says yes, then well and good, you can change. If he says no, then yes. If our manager, if our organization is not supporting for the internal change and all those things, we need to think. We need to think about the changing of the organization. Because immediately changing the role, immediately changing the company is not always the solution. Unless until we don't have decent amount of conversation for a couple of months. Because obviously it is difficult to change, right? Anyone roles. Just I was giving the example, right? I have one good performer. Okay, I have a good performer. I didn't take him to Denmark along with me. I take a normal person with me. Okay. So if we are able to change our roles, responsibilities within the organization, that is like anything. I was there with one organization for 7 years. But I was consistently changing my roles. That organization has given me huge opportunities to learn new roles, new roles. Okay, because I was in the management field. Okay, so we should be always thinking about changing the roles within the organization. If that doesn't happen, then we should change the company. Generally, people say, I got promoted. Does it mean we are safe? Does it mean mid-career crisis or career crisis not going to touch? My perspective is no. It doesn't mean that our career is safe. It doesn't mean that our career is safe. Promotion, salary hike, I generally say these are carrots. Sorry to say, as told in the beginning, this conversation is a little bit difficult. Today, we are not here for have a very smooth discussion. Okay, so this is a little bit different conversation. This is a little bit difficult topic. And if I don't say all these things, then I won't be able to justify the topic. Okay, getting promotion, getting salary hike is not enough, or we cannot say that we are away from the crisis. Again, in this case as well, we need to have constant conversation with our management. Okay, so couple of certifications and skills for the senior people. We are towards the ending slides. Okay, so if you have any question, any doubts, please raise your hand. The admin will allow you to answer your questions. Okay, generally I don't prefer nowadays PMP. Okay, but if you need to do these PMP and other things, you can do. But what I will say that, okay, safe program consultant for a person who is having around 15 or 20 years of experience. Safe program consultant, I'm talking about SPC. Okay, a person is having around 20 years of experience, he should be doing SPC, not any safe agile or nothing like that one. Okay. Yes, design thinking, USCX, lean. Okay, then product, then coaching is also because there is ICF who is providing certain certifications. So these are whatever I have mentioned in the first line. So these are generally for the senior people. And generally PMP is the last option. PMP is the last option. Okay, again, which certification needs to be done, when and why, that again differ from person to person, his experience and all those things. Okay, and if you want to know which certification you should be doing and all those things, then please contact me on LinkedIn. Okay. Then again, for the senior people, we should be having the metrics part, the measurement part, how we are going to measure the progress, how we are going to communicate with the stakeholder management and all those things. That has to be there, whether I'm in the technical field or not. Even though I'm in the technical field, these skills are required as I grow. I cannot say I'm a technical person and I cannot get involved in the management, because as we say that if somebody asks me, what are you doing? I don't say I'm breathing, right? I don't say I'm breathing. So as our experience grows, the management is the integral part. And we should not be saying that I'm in the management field, or we should not be running away. We need to accept that one. Even though we have become the senior, and even though we have become a technical person. Okay. That's it. Any questions, any question answers?
Thanks, Asibhai. Very insightful and very motivating, and it will like definitely motivate to go out of our comfort zones and be more practical and more professional with our careers. So now the session is open for question answer. So anybody who wants to ask any question can just unmute. Unmute himself and ask a question. And please
Assalamu
keep that short. Walaikum assalam. Yes. Yes, please go ahead.
So actually, we well spoke about all the technical skills, everything required. So one more thing, the main factor. So office politics, how can we avoid that? If we can have a suggestion or something on that, it will be useful.
Office politics. How to avoid office politics? See, bhai.
See, what I mean to say, there will be no opportunities provided, and our manager is overlooking us or something like that. So this is also a major factor in the mid-career. So what I noticed. So without changing the job, is there any suggestion to overcome this?
Yep. So I think it is a good question. And when we are growing, generally this is a common problem, right? And especially when we are having 10 years or 15 years or 20 years of experience. Obviously, I will say not getting involved in that politics is the way. Not getting involved in that politics. Having focus on what we are doing. Because there are sometimes I have seen that there are certain assumptions from our side. Certain assumptions from our side. Okay, I have been ignored from my manager. Okay, I have been ignored from my manager. Or somebody is trying to pull my legs and all those things. So sometimes, or majority of the times, I have seen that those are our assumptions. And there's certain reasons for that one. Okay, we should always see why this is happening. Is this, or can I do something? Can I do certain certification? Can I directly have a conversation with my manager? Okay, this is the wrong thing which has happened. Because if we get involved over there, then I believe it is going to be difficult for us. So direct conversation, and sometimes direct conversation with that peer. This is what I understood. This is what I understood. Do you mean to say this one? And I have done this one with my peers. I have done this with my peers. I called him directly. This is what I understood. Are you planning to do this one? You want me to respond? Clearly have that conversation. He will say that, no, I doesn't mean to say. At least next time he will not be severe in his actions. He will be a little bit kind of, he will think how to play that one. Again, ask him next time, I felt this one. Have you done this one? Is it because of you? Correct our assumptions first, then target those things, those persons, and have that open conversation with the respective person and with the respective manager, and or try to pull them in the same room, same conference call, and have that conversation and kill that politics, I will say.
Right. Yes, bhai. Yeah. No politics is the best politics actually in office.
Yes, true.
Hello, Asif. This is Asad.
Yeah.
So my question, as you said, our
Go ahead, please. Asad bhai.
Yeah, I think there's some network. Yes, seems to be some network problem. I'm not able to listen to the question.
Yeah,
okay. Okay, assalamu alaikum. This is Mehboob. And thank you very much for this session, which was very informative. I missed the initial part, but still, whatever session I have attended, it was very informative. Actually, I have two questions over here. I'm into the project management field now. Okay. The first question is like, what is the difference between the Scrum, Agile Scrum, and DevOps, which is going currently? Any top three differences or top three things we can just identify the difference between those two methodologies? The next question is, another question is like, if I'm into the functional management currently, if I want to move to the techno management, so considering the current market alignment, and what would be the technical things we can move, or I can move to, that would be easy for me to get it aligned with. So if you can just suggest on that, please. Thank you.
Yeah, the first question about what is the difference between Agile, Scrum, and DevOps. Okay, so Scrum is the umbrella where there is a pair programming and all those things are there. Okay, Scrum is there. So Agile is the umbrella where Scrum is one of the way. of doing the for the teams. Okay, one of the ways of working. There is Kanban, there is pair programming. Okay, there is mobbing. So there are the different ways, right? So that is the overall agile umbrella. In agile umbrella, so these are the different ways. Okay, agile and Scrum is different. Agile is the umbrella where Scrum is one of the way of working. Okay, so that is the relation between the agile and Scrum. And DevOps, that is DevOps. I have written an article as well on DevOps, so you can read what exactly is DevOps. So DevOps is completely different. Generally, I say that okay, the culture of connected automation from end to end. That is the shortest definition which I coined somewhere in 2012. 2012 because I started my career in 2008 for in DevOps. Okay, so that is the shortest definition I coined in 2012, and that is the culture and the mindset of connected automation. I'm telling not about tooling. I'm telling about the culture and the mindset. Okay, and for this one, there is a very good free course which is available on the Coursera, and the course name is Day DevOps Mindset. Okay, DevOps Mindset. That is the course name. So you can search that one. And if you need any help, then you can connect me on the LinkedIn as well. I can assist you. And you can refer my article where for the senior professionals, I have told that, okay, what is the relation between Agile, DevOps, and what is the roles of the test transformation when we are doing the DevOps transformation? Okay. Hope this answered the question. And what is and the second question is moving from functional to technical. Again, I need to know what is that functional field, whether it is SAP, whether it is Maximo, what is that exactly, or it is the Oracle. So what is that exactly?
No, not that exactly. Like, I'm just managing the project. I don't have any technical skill as of now. And it's just
Okay.
like, the end-to-end management support I'm providing. So if I want to move to the techno management stuff, like, where I can have some domain knowledge or something, that should be compatible for my skill. So what would be the best technology for me to adopt for?
Now, first of all, I will say that, okay, do you need to go into, because if you have not done coding, because what I say that like a fish, water is there, right? So similarly, if I'm in IT, so coding is there for me to survive. So if I have not done the coding part in the past, I will not say directly jump again back to the coding part. Okay, because being in the management field, we might have acquired certain domain knowledge, right? So where that domain knowledge is sitting, we can become the domain knowledge consultant. We can improve our domain knowledge. Okay, and we can do certifications like Safe Agilist and all those, because that will help us to grow in our career. Because if I don't have any technical background, and since last 10 years I have not done coding, then I will say that instead of Scrum, instead of PMP, do Safe Agilist certification. Safe Agilist certification. That is going to be more helpful. Okay, so that we will be able to differentiate ourselves with the others.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
And again, we need to have the complete knowledge about the problem management, incident management, and change management, and all those things, so that we are becoming a holistic project manager. And again, since we are moving in the world of agile and all those things, so those certifications are must, I will say.
Okay, great.
Again, this is a very short answer, because since we are online, so I need to ask you a number of questions. I need to hear you on your views, your strength, and all those things. But again, this is the shortest answer I can give at the moment.
No problem. I'll get in touch with you on LinkedIn. I have your contact detail. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So
Any more question?
Yeah, this Sayed here. This is most informative sessions I attended from last 1 year. This is what I'm looking. So thanks, Abdul Bhai. Really appreciate this. So I had real quick 2 questions. First one is, I think, how to get a real mentor. I will get in touch with you on that. Second one, I'm sitting in a role where I am the kind of last defense called a customer focused team. So I have to interact with core engineering, project management, and all those things. And we follow agile methodologies. So getting a job done from the means expecting a customers facing a customer, right? They are always demanding we have to try things on the fly. So how to get our job done means I have to interact with so many forums and meet the expectation of the customer. How to deal with these such situations?
Yeah, true. So really, I think are you in touch with your customer?
I am not the forefront of that, but
Okay,
I am
directly or indirectly?
directly, sometime indirectly, sometime directly, because once production is down, right? We have a escalation matrix, but we are the last defense of the world, where we are between customer and core engineering. Core engineering doesn't pay much attention because they have their own pipelines and everything. They have to focus on their innovations. So I'm sitting somewhere between both of the world, and it's very
True.
time crucial environment,
I
and
know,
lot of gaps
I
are
know,
there.
I know.
And
See,
everybody is sitting on our head, means kind of. So I am just
true,
learning
true.
that skill, but it is very tough. And then I see holistic picture from sitting that position. It is not good position, but it is not always a bad position as well.
Yes, yes, yes. It has a lot of value. I understand because I also played that role. Okay, when I was in UK. Okay, and you might be owning the complete server, and without your approval, nothing might be going into production as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking
So
about petabytes, okay, not petabytes of
sorry.
server. Petabytes of server. If I make some silly mistake or pay a little bit attention here and there, the data is almost a petabyte. So that kind of pressure I am dealing right now, and it's very tough to deal all those situations.
Yep. So in this case, what I say is, since you have the complete knowledge of the system, okay. So and you know the business as well. Rather than I will say that try to get some of the domain knowledge of the business, and try to move towards the business, the career. If you have around 8 years of experience, then try to move your career towards the business rather than towards the technical part, because you are adding a value to the customer. You're adding a value to the customer. And if there are role like product owner, or yeah, product owner, or yes, so if related to those, then I think take those roles from the business side. So that try to get, first of all, what I will suggest you is take the business knowledge completely, because you know the technical system. Take the business knowledge completely, jump into the customer shoes, and try to see, and if you see these books, if you are able to see these books, okay, the discovery and all those things. Okay, so these are the very good books related to when we are jumping, or when we are playing the role of the or when we are jumping in the customer shoes. Okay, so what I will say is try to jump towards the business, okay, if possible.
Okay, thanks. I will get in touch with you via LinkedIn.
Yep.
I need to get all those details.
Yep.
And then second question, is there any we have settings to meet up with mentors? Because I follow Simon.
Simon Sneak.
Yeah,
Simon Sneak.
Simon Sneak, yeah.
Yes.
I read some of his books. I am following him actively.
Yeah.
That culture, we have any settings or groups where we can meet such things through Carvan or some other forums?
At the moment, we don't have any such kind of groups. Okay, but what I feel is it is good to read all those good articles, videos from such a from big people, but we need to apply what works for us, what is best for us. The best which is for you might not be for me, even though we are in the same role.
Exactly.
So that's the reason the mentorship is one-to-one always. Okay. What needs to be done, when and why.
Right.
Okay.
So
thanks. I believe that is the kind of bottleneck. Okay.
Yeah, I understand. Thanks.
Sibai, can we take more questions, or we can?
Yeah, if we have a couple of
here?
questions, yes, we can take. That's not a problem.
Assalamualaikum. Here, Arsha Siddiqui is here. So, just wanted to know, you've given a very insightful view about mentorship and how to select a mentor and all those. Is there any warnings while selecting a mentor? So, the points we need to take care. Like I cannot choose a mentor who is my family member, maybe because I have seen that experience. It didn't work well for me.
True.
So what are the points where we need to be alert that we should not doing it while selecting a mentor? Thank you.
Yep. If the person is just speaking what he knows, or if the person is just speaking about the limited things, then I think he's not the right mentor. Okay. The mentor or a coach generally asks a lot of questions initially. If he's directly giving the solution, then that means immediately you will be able to understand something can be better. Something can be better because a mentor, a coach doesn't give you the solution immediately. Okay. When you start asking the question, there itself you will be able to identify. Yes, I have not provided all the information. He has not listened to me completely. Then it is difficult to get that solution as well. Okay, so that is the immediate kind
Yeah,
of.
just one addition. Can I select a mentor from same company, office, department, or it should be outside?
If he is unbiased, then you can take the same mentor from your project manager as well. Because just take the example I will give. I recently went outside in the market, and I was in a shop. Then suddenly one lady came and she started speaking. Then she told that okay, she was working under me in my previous organization, and she has changed the role. And she was thanking me a lot over there because my wife is also there. Then what I mean to say, the mentor should provide you the unbiased suggestion. So when I was the manager, I provided complete the unbiased suggestion. And even though I left the organization, when she met me, she told that okay, how that discussion helped her, even though I was her manager.
Yeah, thanks,
So
understood.
it should be unbiased.
Yeah, I noted one point. Asif bhai,
Yep.
I noted one point that you are praised in front of your wife. So congratulations.
Okay, Shadwa, you had one question. Yes, please go ahead.
It was very, very informative and useful session, really helpful. Because I have got a long career in IT, तो काफी कुछ सीखने को मिला है. मैं I experienced so many things what you have told, very much aligned with my experiences. मेरा तो बहुत सारा क्वेश्चन है, इसलिए मैं आसिफ भाई से I will
अलग
take
से सेशन
permission from
रखिएगा.
I will meet him personally and ask, because a lot of things are there. It's not good time actually to ask so many questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Shadwa. Any other question? I believe like we are over time, so we can have just one more question before we can close. So one more question is allowed if there is any.
My only question or maybe a suggestion is that, of course, there has been a great session. And my key takeaway is on the fact that we don't take leaves for our internal development and training. So one is a key takeaway there. Secondly, stay connected to the core. I'm a non-technical. I'm not a software specialist or a coding specialist, but what I understand from staying connected to technical side is staying connected to the roots, and that's another one that is a key takeaway. But what I feel is that maybe we need one more session or with Hasib Bhai or somebody else who can actually. So this was more to do with our internal progression within the organization, so to say. But at certain stages where you have to take a decision with when you reach a certain age and certain profile, and then you have to take a call in terms of next career move or a next so to become a consultant or to join a startup or to join a stable organization. Those kind of decisions coming at a certain age and is something that still need to be answered. And I feel that we probably need one more session on the same topic by Hasib Saab or somebody else who can actually do that. I mean, if Hasib Saab can do it, well and fine. So I felt that I think there's a very interesting one, but we need part 2 of the same session.
Yep, definitely. We'll try to arrange.
Inshallah. Yeah. Yes. So, Danish Bhai or Dan, what is his name? So
Yeah. So my question is like when we say like to learn new technologies, the current hot technologies we have to learn, right? So when we see in our organization, like there is no openings when we learn that technology, there is no opening of that technologies, and again switching into the outside world, switching the different company, and when you are being 8 to 10 years of experience, so obviously if you don't see opportunities in your own organization, or changing the department is difficult, and moving switching other company. So other company, they see the experience, like 10 years of experience, and learning new technologies, you don't have so much inside knowledge on that, right? So they might be seeking the deep knowledge on that, like maybe project experience. But when we learn the technologies, we only learn the high level, or try to finish the the topics to learn the new technologies. But you don't have inside the practical experience on that technologies. But when you want to switch the company, and being 10 years of experience, the interviewer expectation is you have vast knowledge on that. So how to tackle that, like how to present ourselves when switching to a outside company, representing as we have 10 years of experience in the current technologies which we have learned.
Yep, true. That's a valid question. Okay, and that's a valid problem, and so that is the issue we can say. See, what I feel is when we have reached to the 10 years, we generally might be at least some touch in some technology in the past. Okay, so we need to identify what was that technology, and even I say that okay, mainframe has a huge demand. Mainframe, okay, which we feel is a legacy technology, it has a huge demand. If I am since last 8 to 10 years, if I am in legacy technology, then I need to know. I'm just taking mainframe as an example. Okay, what is the DevOps related things over there? Okay, can I do the mainframe modernization? I need to do certain courses, and doing those courses, I need to apply whatever the things I've learned real time on my system directly. Just reading the articles will not help us to change the job when we are having around 10 years of experience. We need to have really hands-on doing, okay, on our virtual machines and all those things. We need to pay for those virtual machines, and we need to be doing those hands-ons, and we need to be doing certifications, because when we do the certification, we need to go in depth. We need to go in depth, and once we have the in depth, then we will be able to answer. And what we have to do is we have to convert our previous project, whatever we have done in the organization, on that VM, on that new part. Okay, because nobody is going to ask you whether you have done, where you have done. No, nobody is going to ask. And whatever we have done really theoretically, okay, which we are doing in our projects, that we have to really perform practically on those VMs, on those machines during those trainings, so that we really convert our experience. We really convert our experience, so that we are not going to tell lie. We are not going to tell lie, but we will say that okay, yes, I have done this one, and I should be able to answer the questions. I know when it is 10 years, we need to put more efforts. So that's the reason I always say that okay, career crisis doesn't start at the mid. It is start at the beginning, when my experience is 6 years, 7 years. When I say that okay, I'm a support lead, I'm managing the non-technical things. That is one thing. And another thing, we need to say that okay, if I have 10 years of experience, do I have the management skill like Scrum, Agile, then the DevOps, transformation, and all those things. So that is another area where we can grow. So these are the high-level questions. Again, we need to have one-on-one more conversation. I need to understand a lot of things about you. But this is the high level, because in this session we cannot go in depth, right?
Yeah. Thanks for your high level mentoring. Inshallah, I will connect you one to one, inshallah.
So, Hasib bhai, should we conclude now?
Yes, I think
it's around 1 hour and 50 minutes.
Yep.
So, do you want to have any concluding remarks, or should we just have dua and finish?
No, I'm done from my side. Okay.
Okay, Sami bhai, then please do a small dua and then we'll finish. Sami bhai, we cannot hear you. Looks like your audio.
اللهم ربنا اتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار اللهم اشفنا واشف مرضانا واشف مرضى المسلمين واقض الدين على المدينين وارحم برحمتك موتانا وموتى المسلمين اللهم ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Jazakallah khair. Abdul Nasir bhai.
Walaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum.